This video is about Dragonflies, piece A2 in the grade 1 book. Before I get on to the actual notes, I want to say one or two things about the general sound of it. So it's a graceful, quite delicate piece. You need a good legato, and that's especially important when the melody crosses from one hand to the other, as it does, for instance, in the very first bar. So you don't make a break between the two hands. Don't do something like this. It's got to sound really smooth, as if it's all being played by one hand or one instrument, one voice, and we can't hear the break. That's not difficult to do. You may well do it automatically, but it's just something to bear in mind. Now, on the subject of legato, equally, don't hold notes down where they shouldn't be held. So legato but not overlapping. So for instance, don't do this. Don't be tempted to leave that there when you go on to the other hand. So it should be smooth but not overlapping. So no break in the sound, but we shouldn't at that point hear two notes at once. However, there are places where you do hold a note in one hand. So for instance, in the second bar, hold that B all the way through. Like that. So there obviously are places where we need to hear more than one note at a time. So hold notes where they're meant to be held. Conversely, don't hold notes through rests. So a lot of the time the right hand has a rest on the first beat. So for instance, going from bars 2 to 3, don't do this. Make sure you come off on the first beat of bar 3. You can even come off slightly before the beat, because remember that when a group of notes is slurred into a phrase, it means it's legato within that slur, but the last note can be detached from what comes after it, and sometimes we shorten it a bit just to... So I tend to play it like this. I shorten those crotchets a little bit in bars 2 and 3. Some people might argue that's not right, just seems right to me. And at the end of bar 4, for instance, you can make a break between the C and the D because the first slur ends on the C. So you don't need to do this. You can do this. Remember that when a slur ends, it's as if we're taking a breath. If we were singing it, that's where we would breathe. And to do that when you're playing gives the music more shape and more character. Okay, don't forget the dynamics as well, of course, mostly on the quiet side, but we get quite loud in the third line, then we get very quiet at the end. Okay, so now let's talk about the notes. So hand positions, really important. If you can master these hand positions, you're halfway there. So looking at the right hand, you start in this position with your thumb on F, F above middle C, there's middle C, so you're there. But you're not in what I call a 5-note position like that, you're in a 6-note position. In other words, you have a gap between your thumb and your second finger. You're not going to play that note at this point, so you don't need a finger on it. So it's finger 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. Your left hand, you're going to have your thumb on your thumb on D, and then it's actually going to go in semiquavers. So it's sort of a 4-note position in a way, if you just count the white notes. Fingers 3, 4 and 5 are squashed together like that. Okay. So our first little phrase goes like this. Now, then the right hand moves down. So that's its starting position. It then moves the thumb down to D, and closes in the fingers, so it is a 5-note position. So it starts in a 6-note position with the thumb on F, moves down to D and into a 5-note position. So practice, and then it's going to move back up to the original position. So practice moving down, slightly closing in your fingers, practice moving up and making that gap between 1 and 2. Good. And as I say, the left hand is going to do this. Fingers quite close together. So that really enables us to play our first 4 bars. I'll do it quite slowly. And that in that 4th bar, of course, the fingering for that is going to be 1, 2, 4, because then we start again. Now, in the next 4 bars, the right hand does almost the same as it did before, then moves down exactly as before. You can write in the finger numbers if you like, 3, 5, 1, 2, 4, but then in bar 8, it stays where it is and just plays that F. That's going to be your 3rd finger. The left hand does something, the left hand starts off with the same note, so it's going to do, sorry, it's going to do that. No, that's right, it's going to do, but then we have an extra note with that last A, we have an F underneath. Now the reason I did that just now with one finger is to show you what the notes are, but to show you why the suggested fingering here is different. So instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you don't have enough fingers to finish, the suggested fingering is 2, 3, 1. So it looks odd, but it works. You're going 2, 3, you're bringing your thumb under for the B natural. Then you can play the B flat with finger 2, and then fingers 3 and 5 are in position to do that. So 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 and 5. Now, I think some of you have started learning this and aren't doing that. It doesn't really matter. You can just go 1, 2, 3, 4 and then just move. It won't be legato, but that may not matter too much. But if you can, use the fingering in the book. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 and 5. So I'll play from the beginning up to there. Okay, so that's taken us to the end of bar 8. Now, for the next couple of bars, we stay in position, stay exactly in that position. So this is fairly straightforward. Again, the melody is divided between the hands. So we go left 2, 1, right 1, 2, 4, then left 3, 1, right 1, 2, 5, like this. And then the next bar, almost stay in position, but you have to reach up for B flat with your right pinky. So the next bar is left 4, 1, right 1, 2, 5. And then as you reach for that B flat, you adjust your position there. So you can go 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll stop there for a moment. Your left hand is staying in position and playing the F and C together. Now this, the right hand going, it says bring your third over, so the fingering in the book is 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2. You can do that. The next note you're going to have to play is D with your thumb. So if you go 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, you can sort of keep your thumb tucked under like that. Or you can just go 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1 and move up. You're not going further down than the C, so it doesn't really matter which finger you bring over, but then whichever you do, the next note you're going to have to play is D. Then the next couple of bars are a repeat of what we've just had. Then slightly different here in bar 15. Left hand starts with the fourth where it is on G, but you have to reach up to D, so you were there, now you have to go there. Right hand moves the thumb to F. And so the right hand is going 1, 2, 3, 4, thumb moves down a step to E. Make sure that's all legato, so don't do a hiccup when you have to move your hand. Just let the thumb prepare like that. Sorry, I didn't do that very well. Like that. Don't do that. Make it nice and legato. In your right hand, in your left hand, as I say, you're going G, D. Then it says 2 for the C. That probably makes sense because it puts you in position for the next bar, which is a repeat of the beginning, and also, of course, you've just played that with 1. So those 2 bars. Then you move your whole right hand up 1 step, keeping that 6th position, that 6-note position. Note that we finished in a 6-note position there, and you move up. So then we have same as the beginning for nearly the rest of it. This is all exactly the same as the beginning. So the only difference, apart from the rit and the dim, ritenuto slow down, dim, diminuendo get quieter. The only difference in the notes is we have 1 extra note in the left hand. I'm comparing this to the first 8 bars, so whereas in bars 7 and 8 it went, here it's in the end of the piece, she just puts in an extra bass note just to give that sense of finality. Now, I think probably you should do the same fingering as you did in bars 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 in the left hand. In other words, still go 2, 3, 1. So you play that B natural with your thumb, and then 2 there. And then there's no way round this, just jump down to the C. So that's going to be your pinky. Unless you've got big enough hands, you can't do that legato. I can, but it's not comfortable, and I wouldn't try. I wouldn't really try. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be legato. And then you'll probably find 1 and 2 are in position for that final chord. You could do 1 and 3. So your left hand from here is going to go 1, 2. Sorry, it's going to go 2, 3, 1, 2. That's a little bit. Takes a little bit of getting used to, but it's fine really. So I'll now just play the whole piece. make sure you hold that last chord for 3 beats plus a bit more because you've slowed down. So 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then, as always, bring your fingers off nicely. Remember, how you end a piece is one of the important things about it. Don't just sort of think, oh. Hold it, count 1, 2, 3, nicely off. Good, that's the end of that video. I hope that was helpful.